In today's video, we're going to talk about whether AI can make you a smarter investor. So before we get into this question, let's look at how investing has played out over the last few decades. If you were an investor in the 1990s or earlier, then the biggest challenge to get an edge in investing was to actually have access to information. It was not easy to know what companies were up to. You didn't have reports that were very easy to access, and connections and information made all of the difference. But if you fast forwarded a decade or two later, you already had the internet blow up and you had access to information everywhere. So the information edge kind of wore off. Pretty much what brought value addition to the table was who was able to analyze data better and who was able to think about this data in a more structured manner. And then if we fast forward to today, you already have information at your fingertips, and with the advent of AI, you're going to be able to analyze vast amounts of data in a very short span of time, and the kind of results that you get are mind-boggling. So, can anybody become a super investor with the help of AI? Well, there's a little bit more that goes into investing than just what analysis and information can offer. So let's take a look at where you can add value addition and you can use AI as a tool to make you a better investor. So the first thing which everybody talks about is prompt engineering. Right? So knowing what to ask gives you better results. So if you don't know what to ask, you're going to get very generic results, which may not align with what you're trying to achieve. Now, when it comes to finances and businesses, you also need to know what to measure. Sometimes when you're looking at a peer set, you need to know which metrics apply in what context. So context matters a lot. And if you don't have that context, you're not going to be able to apply the right metrics in the right case. And this is crucial because sometimes what might seem like an expensive company might actually be cheap, or the other way around. So knowing what to measure in what context is really going to give you that extra edge, which your AI tool may not be able to give you. The third thing is how to position an idea within a portfolio. At the end of the day, if you're looking at a fund or a particular business, then you need to know where it fits into your overall portfolio. And that's a more personal decision. Maybe you need to think about how much risk you want to take, where it fits, what goal it suits, whether it aligns with your timelines or not. So all of this involves a second layer of thinking, and it involves a more personal touch to how you're going to structure your investments. And last but not least, you need to be able to differentiate the past from the future. Now, AI is adept at taking vast amounts of data and analyzing trends from the past, but forecasting is actually going to be based on a different set of parameters. So identifying what triggers are going to happen in the future is a key component of ensuring that what you get as an output is accurate to the best of its ability. Of course, the future is unknown, but we need to be able to identify inflection points where things are changing and where the past does not inform us about what's going to happen going forward. So a good example of this is we often see many investors bet on an investment once you've had a solid amount of performance that's coming. This is because we look for proof before we're putting our money forward, but typically markets as well as most asset classes work in cycles. So if you're going to enter after a phase of performance, you're likely to deal with below average returns or even underperformance in that context. So the ability to distinguish between what has happened and what can happen is what is going to give you an edge. At the end of the day, AI is a pretty amazing tool that can make your investing journey a lot more smoother and a lot more efficient. But can it replace what you or your advisor are doing for you? I think that's a tough ask from AI today. But if you like this video and you learned something about how you can use the new age tools in a better way, then like this video, subscribe to our channel and share it with a friend.